pirates running amok, mysteries revealed, and one adorable little blue elephant. Skeleton Crew arrived this week and ignited the Star Wars fandom. But who or what is at the top of the Star Wars world? It's time for your weekly Star Wars Power Rankings. This is ForceCenter, a show about Star Wars pop culture and the ultimate adventure, life itself, featuring the insights of Joseph Scrimshaw, Jen Landa, and myself, Ken Napzok. Subscribe now to join our celebration of the greatest saga ever told. Number 3, the Star Wars Holiday Special. Whether or not George Lucas actually exploded out of his flannel in anger on the night of November 17, 1978 and ordered every copy of the CBS Star Wars Holiday Special buried in the pit of Carcoon, one thing was true for years. The Holiday Special was the absolute lowest point the franchise ever reached. So for every angry guy in his car telling us that Star Wars is dead, Star Wars has died before. And its death had to do with Wookiees watching space porn, Mark Hamill's Rouge, and Harrison Ford visibly muttering, "I should have stayed a carpenter." But like Carrie Fisher never forgetting a single lyric in the Life Day song, the Star Wars Holiday Special has always been there. And like the voices of Jedi past waiting for Rey to be ready to hear them, that relic of the late 1970s TV world is calling out to us now. From the Boba Fett animated sequence clearly influencing Jon Favreau's Mandalorian scripts to a well-received documentary celebrating the special, the Holiday Special has been slowly inching its way back to the limelight. But this week, the Skeleton Crew unveiled its Easter egg of Easter eggs with the hologram circus first featured in the Holiday Special as the in-house entertainment for Neil's siblings Jorko, Jubo, and Tulu, which, when you say that out loud, your neighbor's cat becomes a teak. Painstakingly recreated to match the designs and movements of the original circus enjoyed by Chewbacca's son Lumpy, he himself brought into canon in Chuck Wendig's Aftermath books, the hologram circus appearance was brief, but it was just enough to put smiles on the faces of those who knew and send many more fans deep into the archives to find out more. The Holiday Special may have been maligned. It may have been an inside joke for fans for years, and it's still very well may be the one thing to turn George Lucas into a Sith. But it proves that when you're truly celebrating the franchise, every single aspect can still bring joy to the fandom. The least of us still has a part to play. So here's to Ackmena, Krauman, and yes, even that holographic wow. Number 2, Mick Giacchino. It's no easy task going into your parents' line of work. For every Ken Griffey Jr. and Alexander the Great, there are dozens of, well, Alexander the Force. And no, it's not often the fault of the offspring themselves. Julian and Sean Lennon, Danny Harrison, James McCartney, and Zach Starkey could still be one hell of a band if they wanted to, but the world would never shut up about their fathers. But enter Mick Giacchino. Being the son of Michael Giacchino, award-winning composer of Up, Lost, and countless other scores, including, let's not forget, the finest World War II video game ever made, Medal of Honor, makes just the idea of going in and composing daunting. But here Mick stands, in the center of the Star Wars world as the composer of Skeleton Crew. Fresh off his well-received score for The Penguin, Mick has brought just the right amount of traditional Star Wars magic with the new whimsy, wonder, and even danger of growing up. And that includes one of the best uses of the Force theme cue ever recorded. Living up to a family legacy is one thing, but living up to Star Wars' music legacy is another thing entirely. And that's not just about John Williams. Sure, it is mostly, but since Kevin Kiner brought his own style and takes on the Star Wars sound with his work on the Clone Wars, now a Kiner family production, Star Wars music has expanded and pushed its own boundaries. And that includes Michael Giacchino capturing the harsh, cold as Durasteel sounds of Imperial oppression and the dangers of rebelling on the Rogue One score. And just 2 episodes into Skeleton Crew, Mick's pirate-like sounds of leaving your safe childhood and entering the wilds of the larger galaxy of people celebrating his work. Mick, your father would be proud. Get it? Get it? Your father would be proud. It's my favorite piece of music from the Rogue One score that Mick's dad, Michael, that your father would be proud. Number 1, bath time. Oh, I know, I hear you. The big winner around the galaxy this week was definitely that happy, loyal, steadfast best pal of not quite an orderly NEEL. In fact, it's fair to say that NEEL had won the hearts of fans before the show even began with an energy not seen since Babu Frick popped up before episode 9 or the Porgs squawked their way into the spotlight. Hashtag Porg Nation, sorry Ash Crossan, I'll never mention it again. But pre-game hype is hard to live up to. Like a first-round draft pick, a new streaming service, or the idea of combining 2 kinds of fast food meals into one, what you thought might be great can sometimes fall flat. But that is not the case with our brother in bubbles, NEEL. So yeah, NEEL is the king of the castle right now. Yet that's just it. Like a king in a castle, NEEL knows how to live. And until this week, no one had thought about taking baths in the Star Wars galaxy. though I'm sure Leia probably solved some of the galaxy's biggest problems while soaking in a tub, drinking Corellian wine, and locking the door so Han can finally leave her alone. But with one single Dumbo-inspired frame, NEEL staked a claim in the wide-open field of in-universe Star Wars relaxation, and let all of us know that when the galaxy gets rough, you too can jump in a tub and soak it all away. So, here's to NEEL and finding his way back to that bathtub. The Star Wars Holiday Special, Mick Giacchino in Star Wars Baths, number 3, 2, and 1 in this week's Star Wars Power Rankings. See you next time here on ForceCenter.